Hey everybody, welcome back to my tiny garage. I have a Craftsman Tiller on the bench tonight. This is a 5 horsepower heavy duty counter rotating tine 17-inch tiller. This thing has seen its fair share of the weather. It has been sitting outside for quite a while. I came across this thing not running, not functioning at all. I did have a little bit of time to spend on it probably a year or two ago now at this point, and I was able to get it to run, but it wasn't running very well. So the engine needs some help, and most importantly, the transmission does not work. The shifter is stuck, it is rusted in place, so that is kind of my primary function of today's video, to see if we can't get all this torn apart, and I want to get down to this transmission and see exactly what's going on down there. From what I'm been made aware of, the most common thing is that this transmission case is 2 halves put together, and when it sits out in the rain, a lot of times the water gets down between the gasket and rusts up the inner parts of that transmission. So in order to get into it, we have to take everything off of it, entirely split the transmission apart, and see what we have in there. So let's go ahead and get started. Finally. Wow. It was quite the thing. Surprisingly, it actually doesn't look like we messed this up at all. Much. Little nick right there, but that could have been a lot worse. I'm happy with that. I know for 100% certainty these wheels are going to be just as bad as those shafts are. They're definitely going to be rust welded to the shaft. So we're just going to go ahead. These tires are in great shape. They're almost brand new. So we're just going to take the tires off, and that way we don't hurt our tires when we go to heat this up. We can always repaint the wheels, but I don't want to have to buy new tires. think I just saw it pop. It popped. It's kind of loose. Almost off. There we go. There's got water and ice in. We're going to do the same thing. That worked pretty good there last time. We're going to go ahead and preload it. A little bit of tension. Not too much. There it goes. There it's moving. There we go. There we go. Pull these off. I think that might be the last thing. That might be the last disassembly piece we got to do. Be kind of nice, huh? Alright, we got the transmission separated from the rest of the parts. That was quite the job. That is quite the job. It is no wonder sometimes when you go to shops and you're asking them to do work, a lot of times the customer doesn't realize what's involved in it. And times like this where it gets interesting because of all the time we just had into getting this apart and all the costs and everything, sometimes it's more beneficial to go buy another one. And this is one example of that, how long it took us to get to this point, and we still don't even know what's inside. It could not even be fixable. We don't really know, but we are going to find out. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. So we're going to call this part 1, getting it down to this point. So stay tuned for part 2, and part 2 we will actually get into opening this case up and see what is behind it and see if we can do anything about fixing it. Until then, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe so you don't miss part 2. Hit that like button, it really does help out the channel, and drop a comment down below what you think. That's all I got for this one. We will see you on the next one.